Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're doing a recap and review of The Bachelor season 25 episode 1, the premiere. So if you're new here, smash that subscribe button. If you like the video, hit that like button and also drop a comment down in the comment section below. I like to engage with my viewers. So without further ado, let's jump into this video. So it starts out with Chris Harrison, as usual, introducing the new season and how he is excited and he's getting the audience amped up for a great season. So as we all know, Matt James is our newest Bachelor. Matt James have never been on any of the Bachelor franchise shows, nor has he ever been on TV for that matter. He's 28. He grew up in North Carolina, but he currently works in New York in real estate, and he works with kids. And he says that some of the moments in his life has been with working with kids, some of his best moments. So he's grateful for the opportunity, of course, of being on The Bachelor. And he says nothing happens by chance and everything is a blessing. And he is nervous. He is anxious. He feels very real about the whole situation. And, he's really excited. But at the same time, hey, this is all new for him. And, we can most definitely tell. But to give a little bit of a background, his dad is black, his mom is white, and his parents split up way back when he doesn't even remember. His mom raised him in a Christian household, and of course that meant everything to him. He said his mom did a good job, but growing up in a single parent family home, he missed out on seeing what a good relationships looks like. So he struggled with opening up, being vulnerable, and he's fearing that he might get his heart broken. But he is ready, he says, for the next chapter in his life. So it seemed like him and his mom is really close, and this is one of the things that they were discussing on the show, whether this is something that he's ready for, and he seemed to be very meek. He seems to be kind of on the shy side, kind of humble, but I'm looking forward to him, and he's extremely attractive. So we now get to see a sneak peek of some of the women that Matt is going to meet. Very pretty girls, all, I think some of them are even from other countries, which is really, really cool. But I think they got a pretty good group of girls. They all seem well accomplished and mature. So the first one is Alicia, who's a professional ballerina who is always working to be better, she says. She's also a ballet teacher who loves to be around kids, which is really, really cool. And then we have Abigail, who is a client financial manager. She is also deaf and is really excited to also meet Matt. So I'm looking forward to her. She's a really, really cute girl. And then we now have Kristen, who's an attorney, and she says that she is always on her A game. So she is ready. And then we have Maggie, who is a pharmacist. She's also from Ethiopia, and she moved to America about 9 years ago. So she is definitely excited about this journey. Now we have Anna, who's a copywriter during the day and at night works at a bar. So definitely have some different variances with her career. And then we have Sarah, who is a broadcast journalist. She worked on TV but returned home to be a caregiver for her dad, who has ALS. And, she's helping her family out there. Hope all go well with her father. And then we have Lauren, who is a corporate attorney, and she is very nervous meeting Matt, but she is really excited too. So, as we can see, definitely Matt has a little bit of the jitters. He knows that just within a few minutes, he could meet the woman who's going to be his wife, who he's going to spend the rest of his life with. And Matt tells Chris Harrison that he is extremely nervous. And Chris tells him to just take a deep breath. The first limo is arriving. And before that, however, Matt wants to speak to Chris. I know that, of course, Chris is ready for him to meet the girls that's showing up in the limo. But so Matt tells Chris, he's telling him he has trying to figure out how he would do this, how he would carry himself. But when he sees that red carpet, everything changes. And then, of course, Chris tells him that there is a phenomenal chance that he could meet the woman of his dreams. He just got to give it a shot. Matt says that, though, there's a little bit of pressure because of him being the first black bachelor, being that his mom is white, his dad is black. He knows that, with him being in an interracial family, it's hard to please everyone. And, Chris just tells him, if he comes out with the love of his life, that's all that matters. So he said that gave him some comfort. And so now it's time for the first limo that's pulling up. And the first girl, and of course the girls are screaming. You can hear them from the limo. And then the first one pulls up, and it is Bree, who's the first to come out of the limo. And then we have Rachel next. She's a little bit taller, so Matt doesn't have to bend down so far to hug her. And then we have Sarah. And then, of course, then there is Jessinia. I want to pronounce that correctly. And she's looking for someone to be her rock. And I thought that was pretty interesting. She wants that strong guy that's going to protect her. And then we got Chelsea. Chelsea says that she hopes that they can make history together. So I thought that was kind of cute. And that's the thing. You have to stand out when you meet the Bachelor or the Bachelorette. So they're trying. But we had some interesting ones tonight. And then we got Maggie, who is out of the second limo first. And then we got Carolyn, who gives him some lavender for good luck. And I am a big fan of lavender. I have lavender just about everything. It smells so good. And then we have Sydney, who tells him that, she's excited to be there. And then Kristen is up next, who tells Matt that he's guilty of being incredibly fine. And I do agree with you on that, Kristen. You don't get any dissension from me. And then we have Anna, who bought him a Bachelor survival kit. And I thought that was kind of cute. You got to be creative, and she did pretty good with that Bachelor survival kit. So then we got a pickup truck that pulls up, and Kayla comes out and said that she wanted to drive up in style. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I know that Matt actually thought that was pretty cool too. And then we have Serena C, who she almost tripped and fall right into Matt's arms. And yeah, he catched her. So I don't know if she actually tripped or was she planning that. And then we have another Serena P, who is only 5'2". So what she decided to do is bring a footstool so she can reach his height. And I thought that was kind of cool. I wonder how, if somebody let me know how tall actually Matt is. And then we have our ballerina, who is Alicia, and she does some ballet. She's a pretty girl. I couldn't do it. I have a Charlie horse if I did my feet like that, but she did a good job. Then we got Sanaa, who tells him that he's the greatest of all times, and she's wearing goat slippers, guys. I'm telling you, it is hilarious. Then we have Alana, who brings a bowl of spaghetti and shares one strand with Matt, like the Lady and the Tramp movie. And she definitely was the one to get that first kiss in with Matt. And then we have Abigail, who is the first out of the next limo, who she tells him that she is deaf. And then, and I thought, it's amazing. I'm glad that they're being very diverse with the women that they're having on the show. And then we have Corinne, who says that she's blessed to meet him. That's a pretty dress that she has on. And then Marilyn says everything in her life has brought her to this point to meet him. So that was pretty cool. And then we have Amani. She's our realtor on the show. And then we also have Lauren, who is happy to take this journey. And I love that dress. That dress is absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous on her. And then we have Piper, who she has a connection because they share the same last name, which is James. And Matt thought that was pretty cool. So then a pizza car shows up, and we have our lady MJ, and she decides to bring him a pizza. So, hey, why not? That was pretty creative. I thought, in my opinion. And then we also have Katie. Now, Katie decided to really step out the box and bring her vibrator. And she calls her vibrator MJ. He was definitely shocked. And then Amber also shows up with the bicycle. Kimberly brings Matt a fish. And then we have, of course, Cassandra's up next, who comes in dressing like a football player. And she got the name Mrs. James on the back of the jersey because he was a football player. And then we have Ileana asking him if she can put her balls in his mouth, meaning these meatballs. Kit shows up in a gold Bentley. And I thought her dress was pretty interesting. It wasn't traditionally the long evening gown like everybody else, but it was different. And then we have Victoria, who shows up in a tiara and brings Matt a crown. And she walks into the other room, as we saw later on, where she said the queen have arrived, and she used the B word. Probably not the smartest thing to do, because it definitely set off the room, and the girls were giving her a big side eye, for real. So, Matt is definitely starting to feel a little pressure to impress these girls, So he comes on in, and guys, that place is absolutely beautiful. It's a definitely different venue than what we saw on The Bachelorette. But he did something interesting. He asked the women to bow their heads, and he said a prayer. I thought that this was a pretty cool thing. Something that I didn't expect. I've never seen any of the Bachelor nor the Bachelorettes ever do this before beginning of a season. Let me know what you guys think. But he also tells the women to bear with him because he's really nervous. He pledges to them that he's going to be really vulnerable, and it's not easy. He tells them about his family background, and the girls are just really impressed. They became emotional. So Matt starts having some sit-down conversations and one-on-ones with the women. It still seemed kind of awkward because he's not at ease, kind of robotic. But he says that he feels, this is a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, being the first black bachelor, and his nerves are starting to kind of calm down. He came here to find the love of his life, and he's confident that that's going to happen. And, he's pretty much having a good time playing chess, and, he's doing a lot of different things. And the girl finally come in with the vibrator because she interrupted his previous person he was talking to. So the women are definitely not holding back. They got big personalities and everything. And of course, there's the girl with the snow globe. She comes in. Her name is Kit, and I mean, then Queen Victoria comes in, not even giving her 2 minutes. So we see Chris bring in the first impression rose, and he tells, the women, hey, it's almost that time. You need to get the conversations in. And Victoria once again gets up, and she gets a second round with him. And of course, a lot of those girls are not happy because some of those girls haven't gotten the opportunity to have a sit down with him. We had a lot of the girls, such as Bree. She was really having a good feeling talking to Matt because they had conversations that they were both raised by single parents. The conversation with Abigail, they realized that they both have something in common because Matt reveals that his sister is deaf. And he turns around and gives Abigail his first impression rose, and they actually also got to get a kiss in. So she was definitely over the moon and excited, and she was. Her head was in the clouds, but Victoria definitely was thinking that she was going to get it, and then of course Katie thought she was going to get it as well. So now the night is pretty much over, and now we have our first rose ceremony. And one of the girls, Alicia, was worried that she didn't get any one-on-one time, so she don't know if she's going to get a rose. So, of course, Matt thanks everyone for an amazing night. He gave his first rose to Bree, then to Rachel, Chelsea, Sarah, and then MJ, Serena P, Kayla, Kristen, Maggie, Piper, Mari, Ileana, Kit, Yesenia, Kaylee, Marilyn, Serena C, Lauren, Sydney, Katie, Alana, and Anna, and last but not least, which of course, it seemed like they might be keeping her around for drama. It usually happens that way. We've seen this before. But, at the end of the night, after choosing all of the other women, and guys, did you notice the girl with the red dresses standing behind each other? I'm wondering if they were identical. The dresses were identical. But either way, that last rose, drum roll please, went to Victoria. So we're definitely in for some drama with Queen Victoria. But we lost in this round Alicia, Amber, Carolyn, Cassandra, Corinne, Imani, Kimberly, Sanaa, because they are all going home and they wasn't chosen. So he definitely is looking forward to a great season. So are we. Let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment. And until next week, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you then.